So let's get everything else turned on and then we will get into it. Okay, we are good to go. All right, welcome to RCAM. I'm your host, Ryan, and thank you for tuning in today. So today we are going to be talking about several different stories, to be honest with you. So we'll be talking about this incident in Chicago. We'll also be talking about how Pokimane, is engaged to herself. It's really quite beautiful. We'll also talk about the trans athlete who literally did the meme from South Park. So we'll talk about that and a bunch more. So I got a lot of news on the docket. I've been kind of just squirreling stuff away. I've been having too much fun on Arc Raiders, so it's time to reel back in and do some news, do some coverage, and just talk about some of the things that I think are interesting. So that's what we're doing today. I am using my Sony headphones today because I have a sneaking suspicion that my beautiful bride, the love of my life, moved or touched my headphones in some sort of way because they are normally right here. And I know I didn't move them. So, or the other theory, let me just make sure I'm not going crazy here, is that my little beautiful daughter stole them. And either are possible right now. So we'll find out one way or the other. We'll get down to this mystery. Okay, so before we get into the content, if you like this content, please, super delay, smash that like button. Click any notification bells to stay notified every time we go live. And if you're on Rumble, repost. If you're not on Rumble, get on Rumble and support the only platform that is truly 100% free speech. So them and Pickaxe. Pickaxe is good too. So if you aren't signed up for Pickaxe, you don't know what that is. It's a new social media site. I'm not getting paid or anything for this to promote it. Just throwing that out there. I actually just think they have a really good idea. And it's you're not getting exposed to any pornography on that site. And it's good. So we will so yeah, sign up for Pickaxe if you're on Rumble or YouTube. You can check my description and click the link and create an account, and that's awesome. Okay, so let's get into this. So I guess we'll start with the Pokimane story. It's a little light. The other one's kind of heavy, so I'm bracing you guys. It's the violence problem happening in Democrat-run cities is just we're at a point where it's just heartbreak. It's just it's just one heartbreak after the other. So we'll start with the Pokimane story because it's a little lighter, and then we'll dive into that. All right, so I'm just gonna play for you guys this clip. Let's so this is of Pokimane. Hold on, I gotta adjust my stuff a little bit real quick. So hold on a second. There we go. All right. Why am I missing so much stuff right now? Something looks amiss. I can't figure it out. Oh, okay. We're good. I think. There we go. All right. We're good now. All right. So this is a video shared by Fearbuck. Pokimane shows off the engagement ring she bought herself to propose to herself. I don't think this is parody, actually. I really don't. This is the level of narcissism that we're dealing with, that this is not parody. All right, let's play this.
I bought an engagement ring for myself. Okay, but you guys told me to. In the comments my last video, you guys kept talking about a ring. A lot of you were saying, girl, just go get one for yourself. So that's what I did. A ring at Bulk Read that I just fell in love with. It felt like way too much to get for myself, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, I hope someday I actually get engaged. The person that you are engaged to the most in your entire lifetime is your damn self. So why should
Oh my God. All right, hold on. All right, let's just play this.
I get this ring for my damn self? So this is me proposing to myself. Damn! Look at the gorgeous diamonds. And the packaging is beautiful, the way that it contrasts. You know when jewelry is so pretty, you want to eat it? Is that just me? Like, it's so delectable. Will I be with me for the rest of my life? Well, yes, I've no choice, but yes. I'm gonna have the opportunity to gift my husband the sickest engagement ring for men that there ever was, and I cannot wait. You guys know how much I love gift giving, and just that idea makes me so happy.
Okay. All right. Okay, number one, you don't get to get an engagement ring for yourself, all right? That's not the purpose of an engagement ring. It's not for you. It's a man typically buys it for the woman that he wants to marry. That's the purpose of an engagement ring, is to propose marriage, and you can't marry yourself. I know, as narcissistic as our culture actually is, people believe that they can, and many people want to, and many people attempt to, but you can't, because the very idea is two people becoming one flesh. You can not become one flesh with yourself. You're already flesh. So that doesn't make any sense, and is quite frankly stupid. So there's that. So yeah, and this is not to say that if you like a piece of jewelry or you like diamond rings, you can go buy yourself a diamond ring. It's just not an engagement ring. It's just a regular diamond ring. You can buy it. No one's stopping you. But to call it an engagement ring is kind of ridiculous. It is. It's very ridiculous. So there's that. And then she said the person that you're engaged with most is yourself. And actually, for Pokimane, I believe that. Hey, F5 Tornado, how are you doing? Hope you're having a blessed night. So for Pokimane, I believe that. I believe the person that she's engaged with the most is herself, because she is a serial narcissist. But when you actually love other people, and you love somebody, um, so much so that you want to propose to them, you want to get engaged, it's because you engage with that other person above yourself. The man labors for the ring, toils for the ring, because he has found somebody that he loves so much that he wants to give this grand gesture to express his love for her, to spend the rest of his life with her, committed to her, because he's engaging with somebody else. And she just kind of acknowledged that you can't marry yourself toward the end. Uh, but this is like, I wouldn't be commenting on this story if I didn't actually think it was indicative of a much larger issue happening within culture, of people just being utterly fascinated with themselves, and people wanting to appropriate marital things without actually getting married. Like, you don't get to get that. That's something that you get if you are actually willing to spend the rest of your life with another person. Like, that's what you get. If you don't do that, then you don't get to get the perks of of being married. And one of them for women is an engagement ring. So that's annoying. It's really annoying, man. And it's like, I've seen and read articles of women marrying themselves. And it's really only women doing this. Like, you don't have men doing. I'm not saying there's no male narcissist, okay? But you don't have men being this obnoxious. They're not going to go out and say, "I bought myself an engagement ring." They're not going to do that. Well, typically because men don't buy themselves engagement ring, and like if men buy themselves rings, like I bought myself my wedding band. It's a whopping like $68. And it is what it is, but I don't care about like the actual value of the ring. I care about what the ring represents. Like that's where my heart is at, is what it represents. And this doesn't represent a commitment to myself. It represents a commitment to my spouse, that I will love and honor her and serve her all the days of my life, that I will take the covenant that I made before God seriously. Now I could respect maybe, Pokimane, maybe marrying herself if she's like gonna give her life to Jesus or marry Jesus, and commit her life to, ministry. I could respect that. Um, but the idea of just, getting engaged to yourself is quite silly. It's very silly. This is one of those things that is just ridiculous. All right. So that's that first story. A little lighter, pretty cringe. And yeah. So this, I'm not going to get into the violent cities yet. There's one other thing I want to talk about before we dove into that. So recently, Twitter or X rolled out. I'm always going to call it Twitter. That's what it is to me. It's Twitter. It'll always be Twitter. X doesn't even flow right. It doesn't sound right. So I know he's trying to make it a thing, but people still know it as Twitter. So that's what it is. Twitter rolled out this feature that allows you to see the location of accounts, which is pretty cool. So basically, any account you look up, you can look and see where the account was created, and it has been real eye opening to see that many of these large influencer accounts, many of these large accounts that decided that they want to weigh in on American politics, are not in fact from America. Shocking, I know, right? It's a big shocker. And most of these are like from Pakistan or India or Sweden. There's one from Australia. There's probably dozens from Australia. But the point is, their country of origin is not the United States, but they have an awful lot of commentary about the United States. And it's almost like, now I listened to Walsh's commentary on this, and he basically had made it seem like they are intentionally sowing discord. And maybe there are some that are definitely doing that, but I actually think for the most part it has nothing to do with these foreign accounts trying to intentionally sow discord. I think they realized that commenting on American politics gets engagement. So that's what they talk about. So they will be obnoxious, and they will see what things get engagement. And wouldn't you know it, these MAGA accounts, they get engagement. The pro-Israel accounts get engagement, and the anti-Israel accounts get engagement. So that's what they spend their time talking about. Also, a lot of these trad accounts, they get engagement too. So this is what they spend their time. This is the content that they spend time spewing. But I do like that Kyle Kalinske did identify that he's previously come out and said that basically all conservatives are Nazis, but now he's actually revealed the truth, unironically. So he posted this meme. Hold on a second, I gotta get comfortable with my mic. All right, there we go. We're good. All right, he posted this meme from an Indian. Tap, 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 tap. I am an American. Yes, I like Hitler. Proving, actually, that most of the discourse that is pro-Nazi, pro-Hitler is actually just Indians. Indians farming your engagement. Indians actually, the big scandal here to me is that these people are stealing like monetization from American creators by commenting on countries that they have no vested interest in other than to fleece X for monetization and fleece other creators for engagement. That I think is the bigger story. Yeah, they're foreigners. We kind of just knew most of these accounts were foreigners. Um, but I do think that is the bigger story here is that these people are fleecing us from the engagement. There's so many of them. Let me see if I can. I know the quartering pulled up like a list. I want to find his list of some of these accounts that are masquerading as Americans. Okay. Oh, there's another thing I want to talk about. It's a different type of grifting, but it's still a problem. And I do think it needs to be discussed, so we will discuss it. Man. People post so much. They post a lot. Hold on a second. All right. Give me one hot second. I'm just trying to find... here's one. All right, so here's like a farming account. This is from Lila Charcoal. Men, be honest. Why am I still single? You know, this is clearly like a thirst trap account. Well, let's look at the country of origin real quick. Let's see here. Joined April 2025. Where are they? South Asia. So not even from here. So that's one of them. So a fake account grifting off of, desperate young men. I like the community note on this one too. Based on X location, this user is from Pakistan and is pretending to be a white girl. That's rich, man. All right, let's see. There's more. Wait, there's more. Oh, wait, hold on. I just really want to. We'll come back to this one. Give me a second, because this is a story that I did want to talk to, and I completely forgot about. And I do think it's I talk about feminism a lot, and I think it's relevant to feminism. Oh, here's another one. So, oh, hold on a second. Oh, I can't click it. I think the user deleted their profile. So, excuse me, sir. So, I guess this was somebody masquerading as an Indian, but their account got suspended. There's so many of the guys. It's insane. Oh, here's another one. Oh, this isn't a big account, so this doesn't count. Here's the man maker. All right. This is one of the trad accounts. Got 353,000 followers. And Indian. So you just have a ton of accounts that are like this, that they're foreigners masquerading as Americans and literally grifting off America is what they're doing. Like, that should piss you off as an American, is grifting off America. Like, you don't get to do that when you're not an American. All right? This is our country. We should be the ones grifting off our own country, not you, India. And I like India too, by the way. I'm actually one of those rare people on Twitter that like India. I love it, actually. I love India. Southern India in particular, because it was all right. Like, you guys don't have like context, so I think most people, when they think India, they think like dystopian hellhole of a city. But there are some really beautiful places in India, and I'll show you one of the places that I went, just so that you understand the beauty that is India, because there is some beauty to it, you know. All right, so this is Kerala. This is like one of my favorite places that I ever visited, and it is very beautiful and very cool, and there's a lot of beauty to it. So yeah, I 10 out of 10 recommend going to see Kerala if you're ever going to go to India. And their food is really good. This isn't sponsored, by the way. I just really like Kerala. So yeah, go visit Kerala if you ever go to India. It'll change your perspective on India. At least that part. And two, it's like 50% Christian there. A lot of people don't know that either. St. Thomas actually was a missionary to Kerala, and he proselytized in Kerala, and and the Christian population there exploded. So it's actually a very Christian friendly part of India. Northern India is like where you get murdered for being a Christian. Southern India is cool though. So it's beautiful. And it's adventurous too. I one of the crazy things that happened while I was in India was and I'm not making this up, all right? There was a guy walking his elephant on the side of the road, and we were like driving by it on our bus, and like we stopped the bus, and we literally paid that guy like $5 to ride his elephant. So I like saw an elephant on the side of the road and paid some Indian guy $5 to ride an elephant. Pretty sick. It was pretty dang cool. So yeah, India's dope. All right. So enough about India though, and back to Indians taking advantage of the X monetization system and grifting off American politics. I do think it needs to come to a stop, to be honest. I get that it's like a global platform, but maybe like don't pay them as much as you'd pay Americans or something. I don't know. I don't know the right way to do it. I just don't like it. So, all right. Another story that I want to talk about, because I thought, oh, this is crazy. This reminds me of something. What does it remind me of? All right, let's pull this story up. I want to find the New York Post one. New York Post. Okay. All right, here's the story. Teen mauled to death by bear in front of her boyfriend while on a hiking trip. Well, I guess it wouldn't really matter who she chose, a man or a bear, because her boyfriend, I guess, wasn't able to do anything to stop the bear, and the bear ripped her apart. But I don't know if you guys remember discourse happening earlier this year about would you rather be alone with a bear or a stranger in the woods? And women overwhelmingly chose the bear. Well, probably a bad idea. Probably a lot safer with the stranger, than the bear. So, teen mauled to death by bear in front of her boyfriend while on a hiking trip. A teenager has died after she was attacked by a bear on a hiking trip in Romania. Maria Diana, 19, was hiking in Busegi Mountains with her boyfriend when a bear appeared on the hiking track. Tragically, Miss Diana was on the phone to emergency services when the bear grabbed her leg and dragged her off a 400-foot cliff. Whew. Rescuers said Miss Diana's injuries were incompatible with life. That's sad. That's tragic. Okay. All right, hold on one second. Had to give my little one her warning that she has to go to bed. So Dan Banu, head of the local mountain rescue service, told media she was terrified. You can tell she was screaming. The bear is getting closer and closer. It was all happening live. The emergency dispatcher was on the phone, and her partner was shouting that they were being attacked by the bear and that he had taken the girl. It was terrible. He told us that the bear grabbed the girl by the leg, and at one point, nope, jeez, he didn't see what he did to her. When the rescuer went to recover Miss Diana's body, they found the bear circling it. The bear was shot dead. Good. Miss Diana's boyfriend, who was unharmed in the incident, said the bear had been climbing toward the Spumosa waterfall when the bear appeared, or the couple. When rescuers arrived on the scene, they found the snarling beast circling the body. The aggressive predator tried to attack them and was shot dead. The victim's boyfriend, whose identity has not been revealed, witnessed a horrific attack but was unharmed. It was unexpected. I tried to scare the bear, but the misfortune happened. I'd rather it had been me. Dang, that's sad. That's tragic. And this just goes to show you, this is like, more proof, if you weren't already bought in, that this whole man versus, being alone with a bear over a person is just utterly stupid, because bears are far more lethal and deadly than men. And I know the femibros, feminist bros are gonna be like, but that should make you ask why women feel that way. Shut up. Shut up. They feel that way because feminism has poisoned their minds into not fundamentally distrusting all men, and it's a serious issue. So, but I will say there is some cases that maybe they're right. Maybe though, the types of men that you shouldn't trust to be alone with are, men in Chicago, because we have this harrowing story of a woman who was set on fire. Actually, it shouldn't be that they shouldn't trust men. It's that they shouldn't trust Democrat-run cities that don't punish evil men. That's what they shouldn't trust. So we have another pretty horrific story. Now, for those of you who might not be familiar with some of what I've talked about, I have previously covered a story of a woman named Irina Zarutska. She was brutally stabbed to death on I believe it was a train, on her way home from work, by a career criminal that was let out well over a dozen times. And that in itself was horrifying, and that was probably one of the most harrowing videos that I've ever seen in my life. I'm just being honest. Like, and I've seen, well, it's up there. All right, I've seen. I actually, I'm thinking about it right now. I've been needlessly exposed to a lot of violence, and I've seen too much death just this past year than I probably should have. So I saw Irina's death and obviously Charlie Kirk's death, but Irina's death was tragic. Especially because it's completely avoidable. It's one of these situations where it was totally avoidable, and she met a grisly end by this animal who stabbed her to death for no reason. Because she was white is what he said, and that was heartbreaking. And now we have this other tragedy where this woman, I believe she's still alive, but her name is Bethany McGee. She's 26 and is identified as a Chicago victim set on fire on a CTA train by a serial thug with 72 arrests. 72 arrests. This animal was released 72 times, and some of his charges or arrests were the result of felonies of violence. So the 26-year-old woman who cops say was set on fire by a lunatic with a lengthy rap sheet on Chicago L train earlier this month has been identified as Bethany McGee, and I'm just, I mean, she looks just like a sweet girl, man. I mean, just like an innocent girl, and this is the monster, the thug that attacked her and set her on fire. It is devastating that a career criminal with 72 prior arrests is now accused of attacking 26-year-old Bethany McGee on the Chicago L train and setting her on fire. I just want you to imagine that for a second. Imagine sitting on a train, minding your own business, and then suddenly you start to feel your body get drenched and you start to smell the scent of gasoline, and then you look up and to your horror there's a deranged man standing over you, dousing you in gasoline. You try to fight him off, you try to push him back, and then suddenly you see him pull out his lighter, and then the fear grips you and you realize what's actually going down. This was the reality for Bethany, and she was ultimately set on fire. She tried to stop, drop, and roll to put out the flames, and then she managed to get out of the train car, and she collapsed on the walkway. Like, how horrible. I mean, how absolutely horrible. It goes on to say this would have never happened if this thug had been behind bars. Yet Chicago lets repeat offenders roam the streets, Duffy said of the suspect, Lawrence Reed, 50, who is facing a federal terrorism charge in connection with the senseless fire attack. And then before this, by the way, he was arrested for attacking I believe, let me correct me if I'm wrong, but a social worker. Chicago's carelessness is putting the American people at risk. No one should ever have to fear for their life on the subway, Duffy said, lambasting the Windy City's soft on crime policies that let a dangerous convicted felon roam free. Reed approached McGee, who was sitting with her back to the crazed firebug on the train in downtown Chicago around 9 p.m. on November 17th. He then removed the cap from the bottle of liquid, pouring it all over her head and body. McGee fled, and Reed caught up with her and set the bottle, which fell to the floor, on fire, but he allegedly retrieved it and used it to set her ablaze. God. She was engulfed in flames, so it somehow managed to exit the train before collapsing on the platform, where a Good Samaritan stepped in to help, and she was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Reed was spotted on surveillance footage at Chicago gas station purchasing gasoline, which he put into a plastic beverage bottle roughly 20 minutes before the attack. He was arrested the next day and hit with a federal terrorism charge, which could make him eligible for the death penalty. Reed had 22 prior arrests since 2016 alone. Jesus, man. That's nearly 2 arrests per year since 2016, and 53 criminal cases in Cook County dating back to 1993, 9 of which of them are felonies, which he pleaded guilty. How is that possible? How is it possible that you are convicted of, or you plead guilty to 9 felonies, and you are not spending the rest of your life behind bars? It's madness. It's actual madness. There is no sane or logical explanation as to why we would let something like this happen. None. And I don't care if he's mentally ill. I don't care. Mental illness is not an excuse to do evil. And this is what we attempt to do. We attempt to sanitize evil by masking it under the guise of mental illness. And that is just simply nonsense. Hey, Culture Vulture, I'm doing good, man. Well, kind of good. I'm talking about this tragic story of the girl Bethany McGee who was attacked by this insane person who had 72 arrests on a subway in Chicago. She was set on fire by this man, and it's just one of these things that it's just got to stop. Like at what point? I mean, if this and Irina, and there was one more girl that I'm forgetting her name, that were the victims of soft on crime policies. Like, if this isn't enough, I don't know what is to make us wake up and realize that we cannot be soft on crime. Soft on crime, allowing evil people to roam free, encourages more crime. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out, okay? And I love Democrats will be like, they prison doesn't work or the death penalty doesn't work. Shut up. Shut up. Of course it does. Oh, the death penalty doesn't work because we don't use it. All right? It doesn't happen quickly. There's a whole bunch of red tape to make it happen, and we have only a handful of them happen a year, and this is years after the crime has already been committed. No, what we need to do is when we realize that somebody is guilty of a crime such as this one, and there's ample evidence backing it up, that we either need to send them to prison for life or sentence them to death. That is the play. In Irina, that case, absolutely 100% I think qualifies. I think this one does too, because this is attempted murder. He attempted to take this girl's life, so he forfeits his right to live. And if you punish crime quickly and fast, or quickly, then you can deter future crimes, because then suddenly people are going to be watching and they're going to realize, oh, I can actually face the ultimate consequence for murdering innocent people. Maybe I won't do that. But right now, there are no consequences. You can get arrested 72 times, get hit with 9 felonies, and still roam free. That's madness. It's actually evil. The judge who released this man is evil. They are an evil person. It's not compassionate. It's indifference and cruelty. It's cruel. Because when you don't punish evil, it's the innocent who suffer. And that should not be so. It shouldn't. It's wrong. It is just wrong. God. Here's more on her. So victim Bethany McGee's wonderful church-going family is now reeling as she fights for her life, covered in gruesome burns. She was described as being very soft-spoken, very gentle, and incredibly smart, a former honor student. Man. Other problem is when a Good Samaritan stopped a guy on the subway and he later got charged for helping an innocent out. Yeah, this is the Jordan Neely situation. God, why am I forgetting the name of the guy? It'll come to me. But yeah, that was a situation where he obviously did the right thing, and then he's penalized for doing the right thing. Like, that should never happen at all. No, if we see something evil happening, we should attempt to stop it. But what you do is when you punish good men that are trying to do the right thing, you disincentivize them from doing the right thing. And then, then these people are emboldened. They're emboldened to continue to act out their horrific crimes. We do have some commentary by the president I'd like to play.
You saw all the crime that took place last night, the night before. The woman with the burning, they burned the woman. To be talking about that now, they burned this beautiful woman riding in a train. A man was arrested 72 times. 72 times, think of that. And they'll let him out again. The liberal judges will let him out again. But we're ready to go. You know, we've been moving toward Chicago. We have a governor that thinks it's wonderful that only like 7 people were killed this week. But we are moving toward doing it, and we're going to, if crime gets, it's horrible what's happening in Chicago. We could make Chicago a safe city in a period of 4 weeks. In a period of 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, it would be totally safe. And the people of Chicago want us to go there. And if you look at the crime that's taken place in Chicago in the last 2 weeks, just take a look. It's on the front page of every newspaper. It's out of control. The mayor is incompetent, and the governor is a big fat slob. He ought to invite us in, say, please make Chicago safe. We're going to lose a great city if we don't do it quickly. Make Chicago. We'll do the same thing as we did in D.C., the same thing as we did everywhere we've gone.
Yeah. And there's no reason at this point not to allow Trump to send in the National Guard to restore order. And then the next thing they need to do is figure out a way to remove these activist judges that care more about social justice than they care about the lives of innocent girls like Bethany. And the name of the gentleman that intervened, the Good Samaritan, was Daniel Penny. Yeah, they tried to criminalize him and demonize him and make him out to be some sort of monster for doing the right thing when it was really Jordan Neely who was the bad guy. I just don't get how they think, like, even for Democrat standards, how can you think that this was, that this is acceptable? Why would you glaze or not punish crime? Like, like, you can't have a voting base that's getting murdered, because even they will begin to be like, wait, I like voting Democrat, but I don't want to die. Like, I actually want to live. I don't want to live in a dystopian hellhole where I have to fear for my life for riding public transportation. Like, this is not a left or right thing. This is a sanity thing. Like, let's not be insane for a little bit. These judges are bought and paid for by the DNC. Yeah, they are. And look at the judge, man. It's like, well, you guess. Who do you think this judge is? If you had to guess. It's so ridiculous. Because it's like the same case in every single city. It's a female judge, and she's Latina. So Lawrence Reed knocked a social worker unconscious on August 19th. Judge Melina Gonzalez released him despite prosecutors begging for detention. 3 months later, he poured gasoline on Bethany McGee on a CTA train and lit her on fire. The judge is as guilty as Reed. And I suspect this judge, by the way, Melina Gonzalez, is a DEI hire. I don't say that because strictly because she's Spanish, but because her, when asked about the reason, what the achievements that she's most proud of, it's that she's the first Latina judge. Not anything that she's done, not her punishing criminals, but the color of her skin is, the most important thing to her. And I wonder if that's a factor when she's making judgments, that she doesn't care about the violence, that she views every black suspect as a victim to a violent system, and it's not really his fault, and it doesn't matter how many innocent white people die in the process. This is all planned out by the DNC. They lined up an army of judges. Oh, hold on. I think wifey just got home. Anyway, I think the judge here is guilty. I don't get how you let somebody like this free after knocking a social worker unconscious August 19th. That's crazy town. So even if they lost the presidential race, these judges were positioned in place to stop the Republicans. Dang. They lined up an army of judges during the Biden admin. Yeah. Well, I don't know. They gotta be removed, man. They have to be removed because it's literally getting people killed. I just I don't understand. The only logical reason I have for them wanting to do this is that they want the violence. They want these people attacking innocent people. And I thought this is eye-opening. This is from End Wokeness. 3 suspects, 125 combined arrests. That's Irina. That's Bethany. I don't remember her name. There's always these lower level judges there that are trying to block Trump. Yeah. Logan Federico and Alex Dickey had 39 arrests. So DeCarlos Brown, 14 arrests. Lawrence Reed, 72. Alex Dickey, 39. And Alex Dickey, for those of you unfamiliar with this story, this monster just came into her house and killed her while she slept. Like, that's horrible. It's absolutely horrible and wretched. So I think the way out of this, the solution is we got to start one punishing violent crime. I mean, severely punishing violent crime. And yes, that means the death penalty. Especially if you're guilty and there's just no question about it. Like there is no question that DeCarlos Brown murdered Irina. There's no question that Lawrence Reed attempted to murder Bethany. And there's no reason that Logan Federico, who very clearly murdered Alex Dickey, did these crimes. There's no question about it. They did it. So now what needs to happen is they need to be sentenced to death quickly too, and publicly. Now, I did look into the history of why we abandon like the public executions, and one of the reasons that we stopped doing is that people made a spectacle of it. It became like a source of entertainment for the townsfolk. And do I like that? No, I don't. But you want to know what? It's preferable. It's preferable to what we have here. I would rather people gawk at the public execution and see it as an actual reality than our citizens fear for their life riding the subway system. Like, I would rather, that is preferable to me. So if that is the worst case scenario for the death penalty, I'm fine with it. Oh, you joining me?
Just for a few minutes. The girls need me.
The girls?
Yeah.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Why? Wait.
What are we discussing?
Oh, it's
What is a discuss? Oh, these. Oh, wait, isn't that the guy that stabbed that girl?
well,
The one to
there's
the left.
this one's the one that stabbed Irina
Breathe.
Zarutska. And then
Oh, God.
hold on, I gotta
Like,
fix my
we're not
camera.
sat in like hours.
Okay, hold on a second. And then this one, he poured gasoline on a girl in a subway station.
Jesus.
How many times do you think he was arrested?
Oh, wait a minute. So I know the very, very pretty blonde all the way at the end.
Her?
Yes. Wasn't she raped?
I
Or was she murdered?
I know. From what I'm aware, she was found
Clothed or unclothed?
naked. Yeah.
Jesus, these people are sick. All these girls.
Yeah.
All these girls, I can't. I would say at least 30 times. At least 30 times these guys are
So
50, right?
this
His was
guy,
like 50 or something?
he was 14.
Oh.
He was arrested 72 times.
Stupid.
And he lit this girl on fire.
So stupid.
She's alive.
She's alive?
She's alive.
Oh, praise God.
And he was, I think he was, I gotta look. He was arrested 39 times.
How? That's what I just don't understand. Like, even 10 years ago, this would not have happened. That's what I can't. I can't. Can you take off my socks?
I could take off your socks. Hold on a second. We'll switch to lighter news now that wifey's home.
Well, I have to, I'm only going to stay up for like 10 minutes because I got to go to the girls.
Oh, okay.
I think our youngest is upset about her sheets, so I'm going to take care of that. So what were you discussing prior to this? What's the topic of, I can't lift that far. Baby's not letting me.
I was discussing that, and I was also discussing, whatchamacallit, Pokimane. She's like a Twitch streamer, or she was a Twitch streamer. She got engaged to herself.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, how self-absorbed do you have to be in order to be engaged to yourself? Okay, that's number one. Number two, I gotta remember other people are listening. Sorry. Samantha, please. Inner voice. It's the end of the night and I have no patience.
Inner peace.
Inner peace. Inner peace. Okay. Let's rephrase that. Okay. It's Christ-like love. It's very sad that someone would come to this conclusion that they want to love themselves for the rest of their life. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, how could they think that there's not someone else out for them? Like, is this a nobody is good enough for me prideful issue, or is this nobody loves me and their self?
No, it was like a lot of people were telling her to she kept getting asked when she's going to get engaged, and then a lot of people in her comments are like, well, why don't you just get engaged to yourself? So she did. It was dumb. It's dumb. It's narcissistic.
Is she trolling? Sounds like she's trolling.
No, she's not trolling. She's being what she bought the ring. She has it. She literally bought it.
Well, I guess it's probably more money than that $38 Temu ring.
Yeah, that's better than the Temu ring.
It's Temu ring. You know what? Let her be happy. It's not a Temu ring. It's all right.
Yeah. So I did see the Cynthia Erivo Man of the Year.
Wait. Oh. Okay. I have a lot to say about her in general. There's some weird stuff going on between her and Ariana Grande. Like they don't.
It is weird.
They don't look normal. Like, they went from healthy skinny to anorexia skinny, and this has all been transpiring through the Wicked movies, and I've never watched Wicked. I don't judge people who have seen it because a lot of people.
I saw the musical. It's very good, actually.
Yeah, but years ago.
Yeah,
Years
the
ago.
musical.
I'm not going to cast
The Broadway
judgment.
show. Very good. But anyway.
I'm not going to cast judgment on people.
But I actually think, I don't know.
Bro.
Huh. Oops. All right, go on. Sorry. My apologies.
You got 5 minutes.
Mom.
And then my babies need me. 5 minutes. Tree fitty.
Tree fitty.
Tree fitty. I'm not going to cast judgment on people who watch, you know, Wicked, but I will tell you it is way different from the books. And how do I know this? I think it was Ali Stuckey who said it. It was a commentator that I was listening to saying that the books are so much more violent, gruesome, and disgusting than the movies and the plays. So apparently in the books, there's, I don't know if I can say the word, beastieism. I'll say it like that.
Gross.
And cannibalisms.
Ew.
Yeah, and that's just some of the crap. I don't even know all of it, but I had to be like, I cannot partake in listening to just this because it's so sick. So, and then there's also an interview that I saw that Ariana Grande was talking about how she practices witchcraft. She was wearing a red outfit, and she was talking about practicing witchcraft. So, you know, between all this stuff and all the weird interactions, like if you see how the way Cynthia like holds Ariana Grande, it's very strange. It's not like a normal, in my opinion, it's not a normal relationship. It's not something it's not how friends act. I remember one time too, I saw a what was it? An interview. And Cynthia was like caressing Ariana's finger, and I'm like, that's like, it just looks sexual. It was just really, really weird.
Well, I mean, she is man of the year, so. Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. Bosco said, I didn't even know I did this. You could see your husband light up when he knew you were home.
Aw.
No, that was just a lighting bro. I didn't light up. I love you. I remember the quartering used to roast her all the time.
Who? Cynthia or Ariana?
I think Pokimane he was talking about.
Oh, Pokimane. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. She's easily roastable.
Who's F5 Tornado? Hello there.
A Rumbler.
Hello there, Rumbler. Happy
I did
rumbling.
say hi early in the stream, but I don't know if they heard me.
Well, there you go.
They'll probably respond though, because you're much more pleasant.
You're pleasant too.
Yeah, I do think it is. Their whole relationship is very weird. It's very uncomfortable. I don't like it.
And
yeah,
people,
it's very odd.
are not even commenting on it. Like, or not that I've seen. I've seen them talk about like how skinny they look.
Yeah, Ariana Grande looks unhealthily skinny, like anorexic skinny.
Yeah, and you know what they have talked about? The crying. They constantly cry. They're all like overly emotional. That's something that was brought up, and I'm like, that's very, very strange.
It comes off very inauthentic to me.
What do you mean?
Just like it's all acting. It's all like a show. And two, like there has been interviews of them solo, and they don't act the way that they act together.
Well, maybe there's some type of demonic oppression that comes between the two of them. Maybe they're doing some weird stuff together, and that's why I don't think it's acting. Coming. Okay.
Do your thing.
Coming. 1 second, baby.
All right.
Oh no.
Okay, well, that is weird stuff. So wifey's handling stuff with the kiddos. I do think Cynthia Erivo, though, she's special. She is special, and I think it's obnoxious that she got Man of the Year. You're telling me that there's no other people that would have qualified for Man of the Year? Like, I can think of a bunch. and she's not one of them. You know, she's just a lesbian. She's not a man. And this is another thing. It's like, can we stop letting women co-opt things that are for men? Can't men have anything without women inserting themselves into it? Is that too much to ask? It's really annoying. Really, really annoying. So there's that. All right. There's a couple other things I wanted to talk about. There was this. Oh yeah, no. This story that I thought was kind of going back to some of these other crimes. So, assault victim is convicted of a hate crime after she branded an attacker a faggot in a text message telling a friend how she'd been beaten up. So she calls her attacker a homo, essentially, and she gets convicted of a hate crime. This is that's insane. I believe this is in the UK though. So I think that story is crazy. Let's see what else here do we have here. Maybe we'll wait on the meta ones. Oh, here's more disturbing news. So it doesn't really get that much lighter, guys. So I'm just bracing you. You know, it's pretty heavy news day, or at least stories that I'm covering or things that I want to talk about. Just signs of the dystopian hellscape that we are living in, and that things ultimately need to change. So let me see something real quick. Bear with me. I just want to do something and see if this makes a difference. Sources, add source. Video capture. Add existing integrated camera. All right. How does that look? That doesn't look that bad. Looks better than I thought. Hold on a second. Yeah, I have my other camera, so maybe what I'll do is I'll end up switching that out with when wifey gets back with the other camera. I just want to test that out because I don't really use my integrated camera at all. I use my main camera. So when wifey comes back up, I'll switch it. But right now, I'm gonna full screen it again. That way, we're good. Okay. All right. So here's the next story that's also kind of disturbing. Sorry guys. I don't mean to be super heavy, but you know, it is what it is. All right. Couple to thruple, how polyamory is becoming a new normal. According to Pew Research, 51% of adults under 30 in the US think that open marriage is acceptable. Who could have ever saw this coming? That's weird. It's almost like people that warned against same-sex marriage talked about a slope that was slippery that could open up the door to all sorts of, you know, perverse relationships like polyamory. You know, and now wouldn't you know it, look, you know, 51% of adults under the age of 30 think that an open marriage is one, there's no such thing as an open marriage. Marriage is closed. It's a covenant between one man and one woman and two people becoming flesh. So if you open that up, that's not marriage. That's something else entirely. And it's just opens the door for a whole host of problems. And I think that is wildly disturbing. And this is just one of those things too that obviously if you change the definition of marriage to include same-sex couples, this is the inevitable result. you get different variations of marriage. And if the argument simply is love, well, then you open up the door to this type of thing, and worse things too, by the way. All right, I have to go. I have to run, guys. I gotta help wifey take care of some stuff with the kids. But I hope that you guys have a very blessed night. I'll be back tomorrow at 9. And yeah, we'll leave it there. I hope you guys have a blessed night. Deuces.